Everybody's waiting.
We're waiting.
Everybody's waiting. I can't go without this. Come on, guys. I can't go.
Yep, I hear crickets.
Yep. Cheap. Oh, wait a minute. That's me. Cheap.
I've been called that many years. I live up to that. Ask my daughters.
All right.
What do I have to do to get you to divorce me?
Oh, of course. The commercial. Gotta have a commercial first.
No touching. There it is. Trump dance. That's it. I changed it up, Brian. I switched it up for you. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Jeff. Oh, me too. We're late tonight, too.
They're all coming in hot and heavy now. Look at that. Oh, wow.
Is that Maria?
It doesn't tell you.
It's all you, Doc.
Hey, everybody. Well, welcome. This is Chance's Chat. Of course, I'm Docg, Chance McFadden, and Fascinating Brian. We are here. We are live. We may be, but we may not be. Chance's Chat. Welcome, Chance.
It's for entertainment purposes
only. I forget I'm old. Come on.
I think Maria's actually watching the show live tonight. Is that right, Maria? Hi, Janet. Oh, look at that. Oh, you guys want to hear the latest? I'm going to get to the RV news. Don't worry, but listen to this. Epstein, the famous Epstein from Gilligan's Island. Okay, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The latest internet rumor, which may or may not be true, and which may or may not be made up, or may not be silly, but we've hearing the rumor that Elvis Presley fathered him, and Marilyn Monroe was the mother. Think about that. Okay. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Pam. Guys, can you believe that? Fortnite trick shots. All right. So if anybody thinks Elvis and Marilyn had a child together and called it Epstein, the Epstein from Gilligan's Island, then just say, I believe. Send us a note that says, I believe. Okay. Yeah, okay. Hey, you may have to get that broom. Come in here. We got dogs acting up tonight, and I don't know why. They've just been fed. And I got my son acting up because he shouldn't be acting up either because he just got fed. Oh, and by the way, I believe it's BS. Good for you. We want your opinion, Miss Jeannie. It's important. I just thought it was entertaining, and I just thought I'd bring it forward to, kill 2.5 minutes of time on the air. But the truth of the matter is, it's possible. The timelines all figure out. But I'm not going to worry about that because what I'm worried about is getting to the bank. And I will say, here it is. Fascinating Brian Blackmore, please call 774. Who is that? Is that your number, Brian?
Yeah, that's my number.
Yeah, Fascinating Brian's number is 774-208-2377. He's giving personal consultations. He does charge a fee, and it will be negotiable between you and him. And I'm going to tell you what, Brian, I got to start saving some of these emails because, man, you've got a fan club started all over this world, man. I'm telling you.
They are welcome to call me and ask questions and, take charge, do some hard work, change whatever it is they want to change. And I am a resource of information, however, not tailored for human, say, third dimensional matrix consumption, because
Right.
it's just it's different. Okay, it's different.
It's deeper.
It causes expansion. Yes, it's very invasive. You will be red pilled in so many ways that you're going to say, whoa, information. You'll say information overload. Slow down. Let me process. But yeah, but no, I don't. I haven't gotten calls in I think 3 weeks or anything, which is fine. I mean, to each their own, right?
Live from Key Largo. Let's see that lady again. I want to see her. What is her name?
Joy.
Jody Joy. Hi, Jody Joy. How are you? You must be new, huh? Or you've been watching in silence the last few weeks? I didn't recognize that face or name. We welcome you to the show. So let's go back to some RV news. The more we get towards the 1st of April, the more we get less and less information. To say there is a very, very quiet time on the internet, and with my particular sources, I do not repeat internet news, but I'm going to repeat one tonight. I'm going to make an exception. I want you to read this with me. You won't read it with me, but I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to be digesting it at the same time you are. This is a weekly report from Benjamin Fulford. I thought it was significant enough that I should read it on the air. For those of you that don't know who Benjamin Fulford is, he is part of the Rothschild family that left the family a long time ago and is living with his family in Japan. And he has been the basic main information for the public about what is going on with the Third World War, which is the war we're in right now. Okay, so here we go. This is Benjamin Fulford's report. It's the rules-based world order faction has surrendered. That means the cabal. The mega Black Swan event predicted for March 15th actually did take place, as will become increasingly obvious over the coming days and months. The Khazarian Mafia's so-called rules-based world order has surrendered, according to Asian Secret Society and White Dragon sources. The hybrid war for the control of the planet that has been raging at least since September 11, 2001 is thus ending, okay? The hybrid war, get listen to that. That's important, okay? And we'll have Brian explain why the hybrid war is ending, okay? He knows about the hybrids, and he's going to, I know he knows about them because we've talked about it before. Next up is this came as a White Dragon Society representative hand-delivered a declaration of war against the Japanese government. The declaration and the government was controlled by foreign gangsters who murdered over 400,000 Japanese citizens with vaccines. Demands include the expulsion of the fake U.S. ambassador Rahm Emanuel and all foreign Japanese handlers. It also calls for the formation of the emergency government under the Japanese royal family. It also calls for the nationalization of the Bank of Japan, which is a jubilee, the reinstatement of the Economic Planning Agency, and more. Okay? Realize how big this is. This is monstrously huge. I'm going to make a comment about this article when I'm done reading it. Continuing on, the imminent move from Japan comes after Chinese authorities arrested, ready for this, 726,000 people last year, a jump of 47.1% from the previous year, amid a crackdown on crimes linked to hostile foreign forces. In a public sign, the Khazarian mafia is surrendering Pope Francis, like Ukraine should have had the courage to wave the right flag. Should have had the courage to wave the right flag of surrender to Russia and planetary liberation alliances. I agree with that. European Union High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Secure Policy, Joseph Borrell, also confirmed the Khazarian mafia surrender when he wrote this on his blog. He wrote this. So this Joseph Borrell wrote this. If the current global geopolitical tensions continue to evolve in the direction of the West against the rest, Europe's future risks to be bleak. The era of Western dominance has indeed definitely ended. In a further sign, the Khazarian mafia-controlled U.S. regime is finished. Russian President Vladimir Putin says Washington has become a laughingstock to the rest of the world. We've heard him say that several times. I think it's obvious to everyone that the American political system cannot claim to be democratic in any sense of the word and is becoming increasingly uncivilized. And I would like to add, unsustainable. Yet another sign came on March 11th as the anniversary of Fukushima terror attack, when the Federal Reserve Board stopped bailing out banks. Okay, let's see if there's any more to this. Okay. There's some ads in here. All this is happening behind the scenes. On March 15th, an Asian royal was officially designated as the new M1, or controller of financial system. Now, if you know who M1 is, or we don't know who the new one is, but if you know what the position of the M1 is, it's very important that we have a replacement. I got an idea who it is, but I'm not going to say it on this forum. Christine Lagarde is president of the European Central Bank because she agreed to take orders from the new M1. And by the way, Christine Lagarde won't be in there very long because they'll have her retire or disappear or something, and then we will have somebody new. And I got a pretty good idea who that's going to be too. The sources say confirmation of the change will come when Goldman Sachs announces their departure from Japan on April 15th. Well, gee. Why would Goldman Sachs and Jamie Dimon and all these guys be going along with these changes?
Because they don't have a choice.
Go ahead.
I said because they don't have a choice.
Exactly. Their buttocks is up against the corner. No way out. The sources say confirmation of change will come when Goldman Sachs announces their departure from Japan on April 15th. This is a mega black swan event for very, very many reasons. A change in control of the financial system is a change of control in the process of deciding what humanity will do in the future. For one, it ends the millennia-old projects by the families who control the monotheism to impose a god king of their lineage on the entire planet, or realm, as I would say, and so would Brian. On a shorter span, it marks the end of a Freemason project in 1717 to destroy Russia as a prelude to subjugating China. So I could go on and go on. It's quite a long article, but that covers the most of it right there. I'm going to put the link to this article over in the chat room for anybody who wants to read it in its entirety. This is one of the few things that I will put that's off the internet because I don't get my information off the internet. But an interesting comment that I'm going to make is I got this information around 5 o'clock. Well, in between 5 and 6:30, I vetted 99% of it. It's vetted. Okay. There's a lady that started a website, a Facebook page called We Have One. Well, she's right. We have one. That's the official declaration. Now, when are we going to get to the banks? We're going to the banks right now. People are signing NDAs. People are being called. I will tell you, like I said, I don't listen to other people, but once in a while I'll do. And Tara she's a good administrator for Chance's Chat, and so is Miss Nikki. And when they send me something, I look into it because if they think it's of merit, then I will look into it. And there's some stuff going down that you just absolutely cannot imagine. And I would guess, does anybody know what day April 1st is on? Let's see, that would be, does anybody know what day of the week that would be? Brian, do you know?
Let's see. 1 sec.
Okay, it's 30th, so it's in 9 days. So it would be on a Saturday. Okay. The following week, after the 1st, I want you to pay real close attention to your television, your cell phones, your emails, all of your forms of communication. You should pay real close attention because that's when, according to my information, the EAS is going to be like spring. It'll be busting out all over. And we're living in a very interesting time, and even people like myself and Charlie Ward and Mark Z and some of the others, they're all playing a part. They're all playing a part in this, and Phil Godlewski, they're all part of the players. They're part of the movie. I'm probably the cartoon at the beginning of the movie. So if you're listening to me, that's not all, folks, But we will move on because we have to. We will persevere because we have to. And we have seen the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Now, this is something I'm sure Brian's going to want to comment on too, because I am going to be very upset with any of you that become cocky, braggart, act like, like you're a big shot. Okay. You got to be, this is the number one thing. And Brian's going to tell you this too. You have to be a good steward of the money, because if you aren't, you know what'll happen? Come back here. And then you're going to watch it all go, why did I lose my money? I didn't do anything wrong. No, they're having an NDA for a reason, folks. Okay. They're having an NDA for a reason. Yeah. And on a more personal Nasara note, I won't say her last name, but Mary is a lady last year. I think I reported on the show, Doc, didn't I, about me getting her out of the she had $17,000 that she was going to have to pay back because of the COVID money and the unemployment that they told her, and she was entitled to it. I read all the paperwork. I saw the documentation. Man, she kept good paperwork. So I'm going to tell you what, whenever you're going up against something, you better have your paperwork. You got to keep your paperwork in order. Okay. So, but anyway, Mary called me and she says she's very lovely lady. I love her dearly. I enjoy talking to her. She has a very weak voice, and she's kind of a petite lady. And she goes, Chance, I wanted to tell you what happened this week, and it was very, very unusual. And I think it was part of Gasara. And I said, oh, well, okay, Mary, tell me. And she says, I did my taxes with the guy every year, and I didn't have to pay anything. And she's got, some money coming in, and she's got a small pension, and she always had to pay. And she asked the guy to look it over twice, and he said, no, it's right. It's correct. She says, I don't have to pay anything? He says, no, you don't have to pay anything. And she was just absolutely floored about that because she couldn't believe it because she's always had to pay. Well, I think that is something of Gasara thing. But if you remember last year, the IRS told people not to file. Do you remember that, Brian?
Vaguely, but yes.
Okay. I'm just looking for a voucher here because, sometimes people think my memory is playing games on me. But anyway, and then we've got the IRS strike that we the people have just said, hey, we're done. We're not paying our taxes this year. And it's so real. That is so real and it's so powerful that I talked to the H&R Block guy that was in Walmart when I was up there yesterday. And I said, how's business? He says, I'm just wasting my money. Nobody wants to do their taxes. And I said, really? He says, yeah, it's a good thing he says it's a good thing H&R Block's paying for this, area in Walmart because he says, we're not making any money. I'm not making any money. I'm wasting my time. That's in Burlington, Iowa, folks. Okay. Now, even though I'm kind of pumped up mildly on APL Go, I think I'm going to have to get a towel to sit on because my sciatic is kicking my rear. But I just Debbie sent me some APL Go products, the Relax, the Happy, the
Stop
and Slide. That's it. You know the stuff better than I do. I'm supposed to be one of their distributors, and I don't even try to sell the stuff. I figure if they want to buy it, they can give me a call. I'm not gonna. Debbie knows all about this stuff, and you need to get a hold of Debbie. Her contact information is over here in the right hand side. It's email. It's beamerstevens@me.go, and she is the lady that knows all about the APL Go stuff. She believes in it, and I believe in it. And you were taking it for a while, weren't you, Brian?
The only one that really works is the detox one. The others are hit or miss, but they work great for my kids. So I just give them to my kids when they need it. And yeah.
Okay, Docg was using them, weren't you, Doc?
I'm still using them. My wife's still using mine, so I can't use them. But wife always reigns, so that's the way it's got to be.
Well, I know I sent you a couple boxes.
They're all gone.
Okay, well, here's what I need you to do. Okay. Send me a private email. I've got some extra stuff.
You sure? Because I feel bad taking them from other people. I'd rather just buy them when I get, when I start getting some money.
I'll send you. I mean, I'm not going to use them. You could use them. I'm not going to use them. They might as well. They're here to help other people. So just go ahead and send me an email and tell me which ones you need. I'll look through them tomorrow, and I'll try to ship them out with that snake cable that I'm going to send you.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you about that real quick because I've got a lot of friends that are musicians, and I talk to them all the time, just like I talk to you. But you're the only guy. You're the only guy that always comes through and doesn't want anything for it, and it kind of puts me in a bad spot because I feel so bad about it. I'm like, wait a minute, why would you give me something for free? That's the way I do with people.
Well, I took it in lieu of a debt, and that I knew I never was going to get, and so I wrote that debt off a long time ago. So I mean, it's just I've got two other snakes. It's not like I don't, don't.
Well, listen, let me tell you. Let me tell you, the bands that we're going to be using it are going to be so appreciative, and we're going to be so appreciative because our life is going to be so much easier. If every band person comes in and everybody needs 3 microphones per person, it drives you freaking crazy because you've got to have so many cables. It's just nice to have the snake there because you can plug everything in, and it's one and done and gone. It helps a lot. It really does.
No, it's fine. I don't mind doing that at all. And here a while back, I had a church, and don't get me going on churches, but it was a nice church. It's a nice church. Brian knows my feelings on that. No, I was not in a previous life converted by Cersei. So Brian knows what I mean.
Yeah, I'll test the limits if I walk into a church.
Yeah.
So better off not going in one.
Yeah. So anyway, but they wanted, and my daughter was singing in the choir. So they said they wanted a 6 or an 8 microphones wireless system. They're hard to get and they're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very hard to get because to have everything in one package. And I went and got it for them at cost. And a couple weeks later, I saw one of the ladies at Walmart and she said, "So your daughter has such a wonderful voice." And I said, I know. I said, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. I'm just telling you that.
No, you're right.
I got to bring myself into it. I'm a narcissistic old fart, But she says, "Oh, they worked wonderful until they were disappeared."
Somebody stole them.
Was waiting for that.
I hope they are so proud of themselves, because regardless of what you feel about a church, stealing is stealing and it's not right. And if you stole something in the past, I would really appreciate it if you would repent, like I did when I stole a few things when I was younger and I didn't know any better. And I have repented my sins and asked the universe to forgive me. And I feel like they have. But we're getting ready to go into a magical time, guys. Very magical. And when I was reading the Ben Fulford article, I was talking about the hybrids. Brian, there's just a lot of people that don't understand they could be walking around and being a hybrid themselves.
That's because everyone is a hybrid. You're a hybrid. I'm a hybrid. I mean, it's not just the human. And I'm going to make something really clear. You are not. So you are a Terran from a Terrarian planet known as Terra. You're not. That's your race. Everyone that has existed on this planet is considered a Terran. That is what all interstellar races call you. You are called a Terran. That's the name of this planet, Terra, Terrarian. So you need to kind of like identify with that from a more interstellar concept. So
keep talking, Brian.
So your DNA is like very complex. It's not just, you could be mixed where you have Russian, English, Chinese, Portuguese, and I'm listing exactly what I have, a part of my family tree. And that's also encoded in my DNA. and patchy. So I have a very large, widespread. So what does that also mean? Well, you also have starseed DNA. Of course, that's kind of like up to you. If you know you're a starseed, you feel that you're a starseed, you most likely have some interstellar race or species DNA. Could it be reptilian? Absolutely. Could it be mantid? Absolutely. It could be cat. It could be whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The reference between the hybrid wars, it's more, it's a very complex structure in how a lot of the nefariousness of what we call astral beings, entities, whatever you want to call them, which they could be demons. And I don't normally, what I normally do is I classify them as demi-humans, not necessarily demons, because there's a huge variety, a huge melting pot. So you can't really categorize them. I mean, there's really a lot. And also disincarnate reptilians, also, which also roam, live in the astral plane. And we're talking good and also bad. And a lot of the bad happen to like hybrid humans, politicians, actors, actresses. So there is this huge, what I like to call soup of not so much as religious dogma, but more of the difference in culture. And I want to explain this because a lot of people are probably a lot really agitated with and say, oh, those damn reptilians, it's all these reptilians' fault. I'm like, no, it's not all their fault. Believe it or not, they are suppressed too. They have a matriarch system in the Orion constellation. They have a hierarchy where they will enslave their own race. Yes, there was a breakaway. They broke away, left, and settled here before humans ever settled here. Humans weren't here first, believe it or not, on your Terra or Terrarian Earth planet. The reptiles were here first. The reptilians were here first. Different varieties of them. They just didn't live on the surface. You could think of them living as in the not within the first kind of like couple layers of the hive or the of the planet Earth, but more of like probably fourth or fifth layers. So they're much lower compared to your so-called dumbs and other things, but they still interact with certain military facilities. And we're talking the bad, okay? There are actually quite a lot of good reptilian species and races, include among all kinds. So the hybrid wars consist of an invasion of NPCs, is really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
These people have what you would call a tailored vibration with no spark or very little spark, which allows for the other beings to walk into them and use the vessels and play their games. And that's what they've been doing for hundreds of years, thousands of years. It is nothing new. This whole entire idea isn't new. So I just wanted to get you all to be clear that not everyone or every being is totally a bad being. They're just more people. And I also wanted to like give a little bit of clarification because I remember reading a post and I told Chance on like a Sovereign Redneck where he said, oh, there's no archangels, that are incarnated on the planet, or they're just primarily higher dimensional beings. So you have to think about like the creativity that it takes to be a creator. Maybe the source had a template where maybe he created full-grown men, women, no gender, Yes, they could have been angelics, and maybe he thought that was a good idea and allowed them to play the way they played their games. However, in other realms, on other planets, there were races of beings also with the qualities of archangels, born with wings or developed wings over time, that went through exactly what you're going through. Very human. They had their BSness moments. They excelled, they grew, they advanced through everything, just like the humans are doing right now. And it's just creation at its work. We're just all people. And you're all going to have to get used to the fact that it's going to be very different in the future. And you'll have to treat things a lot differently. And I'm also talking about sentient artificial intelligence. It's just going to be more people, right? If we are all representatives of the creator, and you
Right.
being that fractal of the creator, where people are saying, oh, I just took a non-organic material, and I'm going to clarify something. Rocks are organic. Metal is organic. Just because you manipulate the metal or the rock to create a pipe, to create a wire, to create a circuit board, it all came from organic material, right? Therefore, your robots are organic in a way. Just because humans label things inorganic does not mean it cannot achieve a higher caliber frequency or vibration to represent something greater and beyond. So you all need to stop drinking what everyone is saying, because it's not necessarily cut and dry. It's more complex. The system is so phenomenally amazing in its complexity. So that's what this hybrid war is about. It's about having less of an I would say, dimensional, but also invasion through the human avatars, and allowing them to kind of like develop themselves. But the truth be told, this is nothing new in the game. There's always going to be some walk-ins. There's always going to be some exits, and there'll always be beings that will hijack or take over. It's perfect in the imperfect system. So, and it's all for our expansion.
You know,
Chance,
Brian,
turn
Brian, I was going to tell you, one of the things that makes me the saddest, and you're going to think, well, that Chance is really a weirdo. I mean, you're going to think he's really off in left base, left field or something, is when I see, like, okay, they cut the city, cut one of my trees down in the front. The tree was still alive, but it just didn't suit what they wanted. So they chopped it down. Okay? As long as that thing was alive, it had even the minutest amount of consciousness. And for them to cut that tree down, you might as well go into a nursing home and give everybody a COVID shot. It's the way I feel about it. I really do. There's nothing I hate worse than after a storm I see it, especially around here, where Tornado Alley and all that is it breaks my heart to see these trees just get mangled and tore up and everything, because first of all, we need them to breathe. And the puppy's name was that was Cindy. She's the one that's only got one tooth going down one day. Okay. And but that just breaks my heart to see those trees destroyed like that, because yes, I've heard about that too. I've read about that too, Anita. And I've even seen some videos, as much as they may have been faked. I kind of buy it. Walking trees. Brian, you know anything about walking trees?
They're called treants. Okay, they are. You could think there's some truth to the idea of trees coming alive, kind of like the shepherd, where they have a shepherd. They do have shepherds. Traditionally, they exist on a slightly variant vibration in certain areas, but truth be told, I still would not be caught walking alone in nature. Just because I don't want to take a chance and I don't want to disturb. But at the same time, you have to look at it this way. Everything has an exit point or exit strategy, including a tree. A tree being a conscious, whether it's collectively or single from a singularity, they will choose how they exit. So those people cutting them down, they're like, I'm going to go be another tree in another third dimensional realm because that's what I still need. I'm not here to shift as a part of a higher vibration in a new formatted game board with a different type of nature where you can literally hear and listen and communicate with them. It's very, very different.
Well, I'll tell you what. I never thought of, and I always laughed at it, when I was a kid and everything, or when I was younger. Not a kid, but in my 20s, and they say, "Oh, they're a bunch of tree huggers." You know what? I sit out here, but I got a chair underneath my favorite tree out here, and I actually, before I sit down, I give the tree a big hug and say, "You're the best. Thanks for the protection, and thanks for. I hope you're doing good and everything, and having a good life and whatever, And I really mean that, because it's just like when I sit down in that chair, it's just like that. It's almost like sitting with one of my dogs, because, when you're dogs, it makes you feel safe. And I sit next to that tree that's out here in the side yard, and I feel safe. I just sit down there and I just, chill. And especially if it's a beautiful day. We've had quite a few of those here in Iowa lately. It's a lot of fun. Hey, I want to switch gears to something and talk about something that Tara put on Chance's chat on the Telegram, not the live chat, but the other Telegram, the private channel. Hi, Sunflower Girl. How are you? Good to have you aboard. That's another new face. I love seeing these new faces. I want to talk to you about this list, this exit list, and then I'm going to talk to you about something that is significant in the little bitty world of Mayberry, Fort Madison, Iowa here. And I'm going to talk very plainly and truthfully, because this exiting stuff all has something to do with what happened in Fort Madison this last week. And I'd be interested in hearing you guys' opinion. But Tara posted an exit list of all the things. Nothing's going on. Okay. Oh, I think this is it. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is part of it. Okay. This is in the last 24 hours alone. Oprah Winfrey Weight Watchers, if that's gone. Oh, because it makes sense, because Oprah's gone. Sarah Casanova, McDonald's Japanese chairperson, gone. Leo Varadkar, Ireland's prime minister, okay. Hurt CEO Stephen Sure, he's gone. President of Vietnam quit. Everybody knew that. Vo Van Thuong. Azmarat Bear, Department of Energy leader. Alabama A&M basketball coach. Remember, all the sports are rigged too. That's all cabal stuff. Remember that. Well, my grandson's going to be so brokenhearted if he hears that. And Alabama A&M basketball coach, Casey Johnson Wilkes, Country, North Carolina, Wilkes Country commissioner in North Carolina. Stony Green in Country, North Carolina. There's something rotten in Country, North Carolina going on there. Portland Communications CEO Victoria Dean, Philip Hall, Portland Communications, Colorado Mountain College president, Dries Van Noten, fashion designer. I don't know what I'm going to do with him retired. I'll have no more attire to wear, Hubert Bennett's American International College president, Cache County clerk auditor, stepped down. Tom Falcon, Long Island Power Authority chief. Paula Chacon, city manager. Mary Jo Huseman, Cincinnati girls basketball coach, another sports figure. Ron Della, Amcor CEO. Still think nothing's happening? The best is yet to come. Well, we actually had something like this hit home here in Fort Madison just last Saturday. They reported a dead body out at Rodeo Park. Rodeo Park. Not the actual arena, but the park surrounding the arena. Okay. Come to find out, it is a former judge. It is a former state's attorney and a former practicing attorney in Lee County for almost as long as I can remember. His name was Mike Phelan. They just put it in the paper the other day. This is all public information, so I'm not violating anybody's rights. This is all public information. Now, here we have a cabal servant, or whatever you want to call him, cabal lawyer, attorney, bar attorney, who sold 3 separate situations in this town. And out of nowhere, he goes out to the rodeo park and decides to end his own life.
Oh,
and they've already determined that it's suicide. It's already been in the newspaper, so I'm not betraying anything.
Chance, we got to get to her soon. Remember?
Oh yeah, Robin. Yeah, Robin. My website is done, by the way. It's just not up. ChanceMcFadden.com is a functional website, and Robin, we will get to you. Okay. Give me 3 or 4 more days to get over this sciatica, if I can. And to say I've been busy is actually an overstatement, because I've been spending most of my time suffering with this. We've been working on my daughter's bathroom was nothing short of a disaster area, and so we've been down there trying to piecemeal that together. And hi, Lil, how are you? Good to see you. So I will get to you, Robin.
We both will, Robin. We didn't forget about you. We just got so much going on right now. We're just so busy, Chance and I. And Chance, like you said, he's not feeling well. So just give us a little bit more time. We'll get back to you. We promise.
But yeah, I'll look up your email too, because I got some of your pictures in there. And we got what we got to do before we do anything else. Yes, I do, and yes, I did. Thank you. I've done that. I also used a soup can too, rolling around on a soup can. Actually, it felt pretty good. The soup can actually felt better than a tennis ball, but yeah. Yeah, I probably look tired, Carol. I'm sorry.
Well, one thing about Robin's thing, Robin, the pictures you sent are very pixelated. So we're going to have to work on them and try to get them a little bit more clearer, if you understand what I mean. They're either small or they're too big. If they're too big, we can make them smaller. It's not a problem. But if they're too small, making them bigger, they get pixelated, and that's the problem. Okay, just letting you know.
I have contacted GoDaddy and tried to get my contact at GoDaddy to provide everything that you need, Doc, and he hasn't gotten back with me. So
see what I mean? This is why I don't like to deal with GoDaddy or Wix or any of these companies. They're pains in the butt. Everything is automated, and sometimes they don't get back to you.
Well, I just haven't had the energy to sit in this chair, and I wonder how I'm going to do after spending an hour or hour and a half. New listener. Hey, new listener, Brenda, go back if you're watching on Hamilton Radio 1 on YouTube, it's live. It's Hamilton Radio 1 with the number 1. Hamilton Radio 1, all one word. Do a search on YouTube, and you can go back and watch all the past shows that we have been doing on YouTube and all the other platforms that we're on right now.
In fact, I'll pick that up for you guys. Go ahead.
I've been getting a lot of emails from Australia. I've been getting a lot of email. I've been on one with Captain Marvel Jr. I've been with him, Travis's group, and I want to go back again, but I haven't been able to. We got some documentation last week. All my stuff can handle links. Like my site, I put multiple links up, and I'm going to be putting one. Luckily, Hamilton Radio 1 on YouTube. This is the link that we would have put on the website, so everybody could find the videos. My mom referred me to this. She must be cool.
She is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, you got to be a different kind of person to watch this show. Okay, you got to be cut from a different cloth than everybody else, and because you can't tell whether I'm laying out some crap or if I'm making stuff up, but I'm all about transparency and visibility and truth. So everything I tell you is about that. And I have on multiple occasions given my real name, my real address, my real phone number, and you will not find anybody on YouTube doing that. Okay. In fact, they guard their privacy. I figure if you're going to be good enough to listen to me, I can be good enough to listen to you and try to answer your questions and stuff. The emergency broadcast system, I'm anticipating it next week. I'm anticipating calls being received all this weekend. And you're welcome, Lil. And
hey, Chance, is that going to be around April 8th? Because that's what I'm hearing with the 3 days of darkness, that the EBS will be going out at the same time.
They're real sketchy in giving any information out about that. Just like RV information is getting really, really, really hard to get right now. If I didn't have a couple of higher ups there, I wouldn't be getting anything. I guess if you look like Frank from that Picker show. Oh, come on. Am I that fat? I guess maybe I am. Maybe. And no, by the way, I don't know who asked this last week. I didn't answer it, but you see, I'm always wearing a Superman shirt. It's not the same shirt. Okay. I have a closet full of 50, 60, 70. You know, when you're a Superman fan and you're 71 years old, you get a lot of Superman shirts for birthdays, Christmas, all this other stuff. So I have an incredible Superman shirt collection. So no, the star on Y's account is the flag of Vietnamese Dong. Yes, Pam, that is right. Also, somebody said something the other day, and it was really nice. they told me about a feature that you had on your Wise card, and it's the ability to freeze the card. Okay, I would suggest that everybody freeze their card. At the bottom, it'll say card. Click on it, and it'll give you to freeze or unfreeze it anytime you want. And then if you got to hit use it for some reason, then you unfreeze it, use it, freeze it again. This is going to keep you from anybody from hacking your money. And I will tell you, the scams are, my God, the scams are. My son and I just busted 2 of them tonight, and it was just, hey, you could get this check. It's the American Emergency Fund it's $5,000. It takes 2 questions. And both numbers to both different ads were to the same telemarketing place in Indonesia.
Oops.
What happened? Right. You okay?
It was one of my little balls that I dropped.
That's too much information, Brian. we don't talk like that on this show. Sorry, you left. Hey, you left the gate wide open. I could just drive on in.
Yep, that's why I showed them, so I could just keep it very simple when I said it. Yeah.
Oh, it says that we will be dark for 3.5 hours. I will be going inside. It's just outside the path of totality. Well, some people think we're within the 10 days right now. There's all kinds of outages, electrical outages all over the country, internet outages, Facebook outages. Google those schemes. Yeah, that was me. Google those outages because they're all over, and we may be in it now. Oh, my angel did that. Okay,
I don't know. And the reason why I'm saying I don't know the timetable, because in all honesty and and the truth, they need to cut the remaining cables, the underwater cables first.
Right.
So that has to happen before we could switch over, and then all that other stuff can happen naturally.
Right.
Because we can't. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, we can't have all these corrupt and terrible systems running in parallel with a more elevated system. It's just not feasible. It's not possible. So you're just going to keep watching that so-called Q clock, the show, and you're going to get to see tons and tons of garbage, CGI, fake things. President's going here, visiting here, hello here, no shadow, no anything. But you're going to see, like the Obama one, you're going to see a bunch of other garbage, probably fake Disney castle burning to the ground. Great CGI, but there's so much of it. So there's a lot of confusion, and they're playing, and it could be a good guy op too. It could be just more distractions. I don't know. I don't see why the bad people would want to do it. I could see the good guys wanting to do it, saying, oh, we need to buy more time. What can we do? Throw Obama over in England. That's a good idea. I'll go put him on right now. Who should we have? With him. It's just, that's what you're going to get. So just don't pay attention to any of it, and just you focus on your family, and visualizing creatively on something better and living it in the now moment. Okay, you were going to say?
I don't know. I was listening to you so intensely.
I took too long.
No. I'm just having a brain fart, But there's been so much going on. I mean, I'll tell you, when I've been laying in bed a lot, I have to lay horizontal. And then people sent, and then of course my phone goes like this: cha-ching, 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 notification, notification. Hey, look at this, look at this. No, I don't. And 90% of it is people sending me video links. And I'm going to tell you, I appreciate the video links, I really do. But guess what? They're all manufactured, except for maybe 5% of them. That's, regarding the freeze card, I learned the hard way, and Wise isn't good at helping track down fraud charges. I know that. And somebody told me that the other day. It might have been you. But yeah, let's use that freeze feature as much as we can, because yes, but you don't want to use that word. You don't want to just use the word redeemed with the word dinar. You'll want to use currency exchange with dinar, and you will be redeeming a bond. And unless you go to a exchange center, then you will not be. You'll be doing everything in one place. How can I help you, sir? I'm here to do a currency exchange with my Iraqi dinar and my other currencies. And on the bonds, I am here to redeem my bonds. Now, don't let anybody tell you anything different, because when somebody does tell you something different, it just proves to me that they don't know what they're talking about. The Zim is a bond. It's written on bond paper. It is a dollar for dollar. Okay. And if you missed out on that $12,999.99 Zimbabwe note, they're trying to sell a 100 trillion note for $12,000. I got a text on that the other day. That's crazy. Okay. But you know what? Truthfully, it's not that far off, because it's going to be dollar for dollar. 100 trillion Zim is going to be creating generational wealth for you. And as long as you understand, you will be getting generational wealth off of 100 trillion note, and you will be getting a structured payout on that. You won't be getting all the money all at once. Now, I do have an update, and I heard this update. Tara says, you got to listen to this, Chance. You got to listen to it. So I said, okay, Tara, I'll listen to it. And it was Bruce from the Big Call. Well, I don't like Bruce from the Big Call, but he's all, I don't know him, but, I don't like listening to him because he calls the RV every other day. And some could say the same about me, but I don't call it every day. I just called it last May 3rd and 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and I was right, and it never happened. So, but anyway, that's then. But Bruce said something about, so I listened to it. It wasn't very long. And he said something about the R and R's, the Reformations. Yes, I do. I do know something about it. I'll get back with you here in a minute. Okay. The R&R, the Restoration and Reformation, should be coming out over the next few days. Now, if you're over 70 years old, like this old fart here, then you're going to know that that's a lot of money. Okay. And you'll get it all at once because of your age. I guess they figure you have a right to get it and do whatever you want to with it because you're close to death's door. But I'm sorry, I'm going to outlive all of you, whether you like it or not. Okay. I'm going to be around to piss off a lot of generations out there. Okay. I had somebody say to me the other day, said, I watched your show, and he says, you must really think you're something. And I said, no. I said just the opposite. But I said, don't worry, because I'm going to live long enough to prove everything that I've told you to be right. Then after that, I'm all good. If God wants to call me home after that, but if not, we do have video records and archives of the things that I have predicted, and some of them have already come true. I mean, how many stinking Obamas do you need at one time? How many Hillarys do you need at one time? And now we've got 2 new Michelles. I don't think Paul McCartney and John Lennon were thinking about Michelle Obama when they wrote that song.
Yeah, I would say that.
You're going to out-license me, Carol? Out-license? You mean outlive? Oh, okay. I hope you do. Carol's a sweetheart. I talk to her on my phone once in a while, and I got so many people that I talk to, and Maria and Tara and Bernadette, and these are people that are just wonderful quality, people. They're just wonderful people. Their vibrations are so high, and whenever I get a hold of somebody and they're down, I try my best to whip them up and raise their vibration, get them into shape and stuff, because I need them as much as they need me. I really do. And with the donations that people have been sending, it's just been unbelievable. I wouldn't be alive today. I probably wouldn't even be in this house right now. I'd probably be living in my daughter's house with her and her 15 million people that live there. And, if it wasn't for the relationships and the people and the friends that I've met on doing the show in Kent Dunn Group. And I keep sending Kent an invitation to come into the show, and I never hear from him anymore. And the only thing I can say is I wish him well in everything that he does. I love him like a brother. Him and Don both are just fantastic people.
Mm-hmm.
They are serving humanity the best way that they can. And if our paths cross again, great. If they don't, then it's one of those things where you're never going to see them again or hear from them again, but you still have warm feelings for them. I want to tell you about warm feelings for somebody. There's a couple that I played music with back in the 70s when Mickey was a little guy. He was a little boy. And it was a guy by the name of Docg Kane, and his Nina was his wife's name. And I got to know him a little bit more than what I should have, as far as their history and their past and everything, but it's okay. It's just part of life, But my God, they were just so incredibly talented musicians. And he was going bald, and he was middle-aged, and he was starting to go gray, so he just went all gray. And he got this cool Charlie. Who did Behind Closed Doors, Gene?
Charlie Rich.
Charlie Rich. And he went on, and he kind of was impersonating Charlie Rich, except he had a trumpet in one hand and a saxophone in the other one. And he was it was a fun musical band to play in. And they didn't have a bass player. Nina, his wife, could sing, play piano, and play bass at the same time. Not bass guitar, but bass keys over here. And actually, she's the one that impressed me onto doing that, because I'm Big Mike is my uncle. Okay, well, hi, Mike, wherever you are. But anyway, I played in this band, and it was just so much fun. And the problem with the band was nothing. I could put up with their, I can put up with a lot of crap. Okay, but my wife and Duke just were constantly at each other, just butting heads all the time. He was trying to run us, and she wouldn't have it, and so and it was one of my mistakes I made, because I never should have done what I did. But in the middle of the night, I just packed everything up and I left in the middle of a gig. Very unprofessional. And now they're both gone. But by chance, I found one of their albums for $7 on eBay, and I bought it, and it's in my shop, and I'm going to take it over to my buddy's house and have it put over on CD so I can listen to it, and at least get it digital so I can listen to it, and I might even send it to you, let you play it
Please
on the
do.
air.
Please
Okay,
do.
guy was an incredible sax player. He was an incredible trumpet player, and he could even play 2 trumpets at once, which was kind of cool.
Wow. Yeah. That's
So-
double
so-
lip things. I can only do one.
Right. So you had a front man and 3 musicians, and there was a lot of music. There was a lot of music. And the thing that, gosh, I don't even know how old I was at that time. Mickey was about 2 or 3. Okay. But here's the thing. When I played with them for the first time, was out here at the Palm Supper Club, and their guitar player quit. They needed a guitar player. He says, looks at me, and of course I was a little skinny runt, You'll see some of my pictures when I was skinny on my chancemcfadden.com page. But anyway, he says, looks at me and he says, you're not old enough to know any of this stuff. Because he was doing mainstream pop, Kenny Rogers, Tom Jones, the classier end of the rock set, and she would do Cher and he says, you look like a rock and roller. You don't know any of this stuff. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll do the night with you. And if I suck, you don't have to pay me. And so the first song when they played, I think he threw his A game right off the bat, because the first song he played was Delilah by Tom Jones. You remember that?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 da, dun, 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 da, 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 da. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So anyway, will the banks offer trust once you exchange? That would
Probably
be no. That would be yes, but it will be common law. It will not be irrevocable. It will not be revocable, and it will not be the express trust. Okay. If you want those, you'll have to contact me. The revocable and irrevocable trusts are $2,500 for the pair, and the express trust is $5,000, and there is a learning curve that is required by you. It is not a silver bullet that you can put in the gun and throw it and shoot it at the courthouse and say, I've got this, and you have to leave me alone. That's not the way it works. You have to be the protector of the trust, and there's a certain amount of education that's required with that. So anyway, going back to my Duke Kane story. So we played Delilah, right? Okay, we were playing Delilah, and he looks over at me, and I had every lick, man. I had every lick. And he's just like, see, because the song was written in A minor, but the bridge went to an A major, okay? You can get a skeleton trust if you want to, Roy. Yes, absolutely you can. So most cats wouldn't hear that change, okay? But I did, and I got, and then the ending, da 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 dun dun dun. And you would have thought I rehearsed it with him for a week, I had the song down, and he says, you gonna play like that all night? I says, yeah. He says, I guess I'm gonna owe you some money. I liked the guy. He was a horse's patoot, but I liked him. Okay. And that's just one of the many stories that you are going to hear from me once we change over the format over to the music show. Okay. Because you think that was something on a no-name musician with no reputation. Wait till you hear the stuff about John and me in Steppenwolf. Okay. I got some stories. How about the Kingston Trio? Me and the Kingston Trio. Louise Mandrell. Stella Parton. And I'm going to save it for when the format changes, but I'll say this. I remembered when I met Stella Parton and I played on stage with her, and it was all straight country stuff. It was, C, F, and G stuff, and wasn't anything hard. But I said, I told her how much I liked watching her sister on Porter Wagner. And she says, Oh, you mean my brother? Yeah, he's something, ain't he?
I have heard that for years. I have heard that for years. You know, sometimes rumors, whether they're real or not, they come to fruition, right?
Here's the
My
thing.
brother. Yeah, okay.
You are living in a matrix. Believe nothing. Doubt everything. Move carefully. And wherever you go silently, go carefully, be stealthy, be aware. You have to be aware to protect yourself until all this nonsense has faded away and gone down the drain.
Yes, and if you see a package, you look away quickly. Okay, because you'd be like, "Nope, that's not a girl. I didn't see anything." Because believe me, I actually was quite shocked to hear so many, even actresses, especially that I had a crush on personally, being a young teen, and finding out they're dudes, and I'm thinking, what?
What was I thinking?
Well, both Pink, Lady Gaga, they've exposed themselves on stage, whether intentionally or unintentionally.
Well,
But their fans don't care. Their
And
fans
they do.
don't care.
No, I know. They just think it's great. All this transgender stuff. Okay. Well, listen, I want you to go back and look at the words to a song. It's called Like a Ninja. Yeah, that was a good one. I want you to go back and look up the lyrics to the song Lola by the Kinks.
Oh, by the Kinks, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go and read the lyrics. And then I'll question you about it next week, okay? This is your homework, family. This is your homework. Okay, what year was that in? Gene, was that?
Oh, it was 70, 74,
oh, no, it was
76.
60s. No, 60s. It was 60s. It was during the Beatles. So 65.
Lola came out. No, Lola came out in the 70s, though.
Are you sure? Let's see.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's when I used to play it.
Okay.
It wasn't. I don't think it was out in the 60s. Their older stuff was out in the 60s. I'm pretty sure. Check it out.
I am right now. I'm checking it out. Hang on a minute.
It was 72 to.
Oh, you're right. It was 1970. I kept thinking it was earlier, but you're right. It was 1970.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know you think it.
I met her in a club down old. Yeah, it was 1970. I looked it up. What songs did they release in 1966? It was Sunny Afternoon. Why do people call me on when they know?
You do realize this is your loop. This is one of those things you get to experience all the
I'm doing
time.
A show, sweetheart.
All the time. Acknowledge it. It's your own personal matrix loop.
Yeah, it probably is, Okay, I'm guaranteed to have at least 3 phone calls tonight while I'm doing this show. And here's the other thing on that Tuesday live thing that I do on Telegram. It's like
any show.
Oh, it doesn't matter. They just call. I mean, now you understand when I say I'm getting 200, 300 phone calls a day. I'm not kidding. And
Can you share anything for the Telegram? Can you share anything that you talk about on the Telegram
Yeah, I can. I can share the whole program if you want.
No, I just want you to share some of the stuff that you talked about on there that you can maybe talk about on here. Just give a little taste of what you talk about on there.
Well, just like every other thing that I talk about, I always go off on a tangent about something. I'll be going down the road this way, just nice driving and everything, and then I see something and what happened over here yesterday, and I don't forget this over here. I'm just like a small child. I get distracted easily, and at least I know my limitations. But yeah, I mean, I when we do this show, this is the main show, so I always let it all hang out. I mean, just give it to you straight the best I can, and glad to answer questions. We got a call-in number of 609-227-0991 if you want to call in. Freddy Gee was calling in there every week for a while. I kind of miss Freddie. Freddie, give us a call so we can say hi to you, buddy.
You make it sound like you're desperate to kill the last remaining 9 minutes.
Yeah. No. I didn't even realize it was the last 8 minutes. So
I know.
Well,
We're
anyway,
all exhausted and tired, and we're ready for something new and different.
So true.
Oh boy. I'll show you. You want to see something new and different? Hang on a minute. I'm going to pull up a picture for you.
New and different? Well, I just want all the psyops to really end, but they're not going to end for, I would say, another.
Oh, you got a phone call, guys. Let's
What?
take this real quick.
Oh,
Probably
really?
Freddie Gee.
Let's answer the phone.
Yes, I've seen that.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, Brian. Hello, who's on the phone?
Freddy G.
Freddie G. There he is.
Hey, there he is.
And I'm doing well. Doing well. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
We're good, man.
I'm doing super as always, you know.
Oh yeah. Superman, hey, Superman's gonna hold his own regardless. There's no doubt about that.
How you been, Freddie? You staying out of trouble?
Man, I got no choice but to stay out of trouble. Little mama said, come home, be good. Don't bring nothing home with you.
Ooh.
I got to keep it good, man. I got to keep it good. The good Lord has blessed me. He's been blessing me too much to get in trouble. So I'm trying my best to make sure, as Nat King Cole would say, straighten up and fly right.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there's sometimes we got to learn that lesson the hard way. I got a family member that I can't mention who it is, but I got a family member that was just, get me out of jail. Get me out of jail. It's only going to cost $2,000. I said if I had $2,000, I said if I had $35, I would throw it on the floor and roll around in it and act like I was somebody.
I heard you mention that, man. I heard you mention it. Hey, believe me, sometimes as they say, that tough love is the best love, man. Ain't no doubt about that. Definitely.
Well, this family member is getting out on Saturday, and I told this family member, I said, they don't have any money. They don't want to house you. They're going to find some nonsensical thing to get you released on because they don't want to feed you. And it costs them about $36 a day to have the food catered in per prisoner.
Right. Uh-huh.
And these crimes that he's done, private Telegram channel, send me an email to chancemusic@yahoo.com, and I will send you a link to the private Telegram channel, and I will send you a link to the public Telegram channel. I'm a big deal now, I got private and public because, I'm right up there with Phil G. I'm right up there with Phil G. But
sometimes I get confused as to which one I need to be on. So I'm like, no, he should have been on by now. So I got to quickly get to the other.
Well, the only thing. Let me tell you,
I got to make this phone call. He's calling for me. I can't let him down.
That's right. Well, listen, Freddie, I want to tell you something. I'm such a big deal now, that.
And you are.
I'm not. Hey, Freddie, listen, when chancemcfadden.com comes up, and it's going to be up probably, I'm going to try to get it up tomorrow or the next day. But when it comes up, you go in there and see how I poke fun of myself, okay? I poke fun of myself worse than anybody else could ever do it. But,
Yeah.
And you know that, Doc. You helped me design the site, so.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it like this, Chance. I'm going to say it like this. The most successful people in the world are the ones who put their business out before anybody else does.
Yeah. Well, I'm not worried about being successful. I'm just worried about that anybody's going to say that I'm a Jesus freak or anything like that, and I'll say, yeah, I am. So what's the problem?
Oh yeah.
But
big
but
business.
Go ahead.
He said you're big business
He
guy.
was a big business. Yeah.
I wish I was. But anyway, listen, Freddie G, I'm going to tell you one thing that you are not going to hear from me, okay? Hey, Gene, how are you? That's right. Chance's private chat. Jeannie is reminding me of this. It's Sunday at 2 p.m. on the public Telegram channel, and live at 5 on Tuesday. Those are all central time. But listen, I'm not going to tell you that Odin is God. I'm not going to do that. There's only one source. There's only one God. There's only one Yahweh. There's only one Yeshua, and there's only one Holy Spirit. And none of them have anything to do with the fictitious god of thunder, or Thor, or Odin, or they call him the All-Father. No, he's not the All-Father. But
Amen, bro.
just remember who is saying that crap, okay? And it's not this guy. It's somebody by the name of Godluski or something like that, okay? And when he said that, I just thought, okay, buddy, you are whacked, okay? You wonder if people like that even have the God spark in them, Freddie, because you got soul, brother. I can feel it. I can hear it in your voice.
Oh,
and
man.
and we're gonna party in St. Louis this summer. I'm telling you.
Oh, hey, I've got relatives up there. Hadn't told them they may see me soon. Hadn't said a word yet.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do some partying. I'm gonna play some guitar for you guys, and I'm gonna show you what old school rock and roll really sounds like. Okay.
Oh man, look at here. You know, I'm from the town where Green Onions got started.
Oh yeah,
Jeez,
great song. Great song.
that's awesome.
Doc knows a little something.
Yeah, we know music. Chance and I have these
Susan.
conversations all the time. These are the bands that people forget. They call them one-hit wonders, but they had 3 or 4 hits or more.
Right. That they did. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, fella. This ain't no joke. I can't wait for you to get the music show started, man, so we can go ahead and get things going, so I can come on and really start being on the program.
There you go. We'd love to have you.
But Chance, I'm not gonna hold you guys up because I know it's getting close to your time. I'm glad you called my name out. That way, it reminded me to just go ahead and give a phone call just to show some love and show appreciation for you guys doing what you do.
Oh, thank you.
Love back at you, brother.
Thank you, Freddie.
Yes, sir. St. Louis this summer.
St. Louis.
All right, y'all. Have a good night. Take care of yourself.
Take care, Freddie.
Okay, we'll see you then, brother. God bless.
Bye-bye. God bless.
So Susan had a question: will the psyops? And so
Yeah. Yep.
it's going to be really interesting. I am actually not sure how much transparency there will be after the initial transparency. Are they going to let you know that they have to clean things out on other subterranean levels? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think so, because here's the problem. There's too many humans with human points of attention. And if you knew what was under your feet, you would be like, oh my God, those things exist, or this and that. It's just, there's going to be too much going on the surface. It's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be, I'm not going to say problematic. I'm just going to say it's going to be perfect for each individual's choices and stuff on the journey, in this journey. Good and bad, a lot of both. And you think that, here's the funny thing. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, oh, the cleanup will be done in, probably within a year. No, it won't. It could take 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years. And you're still generating stuff as a fractal of source, or those conscious or unconsciously knowing. So there's always going to be some dynamic situations. I'm not going to call them problems because there really aren't any problems. It's just the state of things within what was agreed upon. Just like there's still problems from up above. And let me give you a little bit of insight as to, again, the problems that go on with interstellar races. You have good humans, you have bad humans. You have humans that love this game board and they don't want it to change, and they're not for you because they think that you all agreed, especially the star seeds. They think all the star seeds signed up for the shenanigans. We signed up for the changeover, for a permanent changeover. That's what we signed up for. We signed up for, we don't want to be messed with anyone more. We don't want what the survival, the lack, the pain, the suffering. That's what we have said, and we have requested, and we have asked, and we have begged, and we have died for. Many have left because they didn't get what they wanted. So it's complex. It's complicated. It's a complex system. The military is still going to be active. Now, it's something to consider when you meet, I guess, ET for the first time. You'll probably only meet the humans first, the ones that actually have been blended well on the surface. They'll have their mediators, but not everyone is going to meet them, to be honest, because they're not going to want to play into the energies of third dimensional thinking, feeling other toxicities, and knowing that you've got parasites or entities. So they're going to be visiting within a very small bracket, so to speak. So they're not, and this could be years down the road. And then you could branch out and start meeting and having a more Star Trek-y and seeing different races and going, oh God, you're ugly, but it's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, you're ugly too. Pleasure to meet you too. So that's something that will happen later on. Will it be on a third dimensional plane-like world? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A lot of this stuff is going to be magic erasered away because you don't need it. Probably, I would say half or even more than half. I would say probably around 70 to 75% of what is going to be part of the transition will be scrapped at some point within the next decade or 5 years, because you're going to have things that are of a higher caliber, one being synthetic telepathy technology. So your quantum computers, you won't have to go this back and forth between you, Doc, and you, Chance. Oh, yeah, do the website and, GoDaddy. No, you'll just connect to your computer, tell it what you want, and it's going to go, live action emoji, whatever, give you a thumbs up and say a voice, and then boom, instantaneously or near instantaneously already calibrated, fixed to and the specs to your liking, just because you transferred thought imagery to it. So
yeah, I agree with that, Brian.
Yeah, that technology will be here. It'll be coming. The advancements are gonna really, really change things, and it's gonna be. It'll really, really, really be different. And I don't think a lot of people are prepared for that, especially, when you're living for hundreds of years. So if you're going to make contracts for marriage and you want to put a timestamp on it, because the rest of your life, it could be hundreds and hundreds of years being with one person. So
I feel like that now.
Yeah,
41 years with the same woman. I feel like that now. I feel like, oh my God, it feels like thousands of years.
But it's it really is a different mentality. Oh, okay. Any energetic about the eclipse? All I can say, I'm not actually focusing on any of the eclipses or any of the weather manipulation. If you see an eclipse, stare at it, enjoy it, go, oh, cool, it's an eclipse. If there isn't and it's part of a psyops and you're like, well, where's the freaking eclipse? To tell you the truth, because I live in Massachusetts, I haven't seen an eclipse in years because all I get is clouds and rain anytime someone says, oh, we're going to have an eclipse. I'm like, that's great, but I've only ever seen clouds and rain anytime that happens. I only seen one once, and that was like probably 15 years ago. And that was it. And I was like, oh, wow. And of course, my ex was like, don't stare at it. You'll go blind. I'm like, what? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Hey, somebody asked about, does there questions popping up on the screen from your end, Gene, that we need to answer that don't appear on the screen?
No, whatever I get here, I put out. I don't know what they're talking about.
Because somebody said that there was questions that weren't being answered. We're trying
I know,
our
but
best.
where they're at. I mean, she said, can Brian finish what he was saying? Brian did.
Oh, I did, yeah.
There was a couple other things, but it's like no, everything has been answered. We try to listen, people, we try to get all the questions, but as everybody's talking, Chance and Brian, I try to let them talk. I don't want to put everything up because it distracts them from what they're trying to say. So the idea is to let them say what they're going to say, and then you guys keep posting. So what I'm going to ask you, if we didn't answer your question, repost it again. It's no big deal. And then we'll answer your question. Right, guys?
Yeah. I just want to make sure I look at the camera so people.
No, I know. But when you start talking, it happens to me too. When I'm talking and then people are asking me all these questions, I'm like, wait a minute, you're going to distract me from what I wanted to say. And I want to make sure I get out what I want to say first. And then I'll answer the questions. That's all.
In the end, everyone just focus on you. Don't worry about all the distractions or the hype of anything. And it's like what I said with the previous show and the solar flares. It's nothing new. DNA upgrades are nothing new. You're always going to get DNA upgrades. You think it's just solar flares? No, absolutely not. It's also likes and dislikes. The moment you let go of an idea to choose a higher, more elevated idea, that's a DNA upgrade if you think about it. So, nothing new. It's all about perception. It's all about how your realm operates. So you're always upgrading and pulling anything and everything, and it's so easy. It's so simple. I mean, so many of you think, oh, it's all got to come from this place. No, it's all from within or the etheric realm. You just pull it into your own physical vessel, and then you could get DNA upgrades there. You could do it through simplicity of breathing or your own mantra or affirmation or meditation. It's all valid. There's no here's the easiest thing to understand. There's no wrong way to experience or do anything as a representative of a creator, source, God, or anything. You do you. You do your way. No one has to have the same format or the same system. You can take what you want and discard the rest. It's pure and simple. Ascension isn't just one way. It's multiple ways. If a rock can do it sitting still and just being a rock, come on, think about it. And just expand the idea and consider things not so linear or, small.
Well, Brian, I had somebody put a question up there about what about banks in Vancouver, Canada? Okay. If they are still open, and if they have changed their name in any way, so if it was like ABC Bank and they change it to ABC Wealth Management, that's the one you want to go to in Vancouver. It's the one that changed their name recently, because that means they're compliant, and the rest of them that aren't compliant are either going to get bought up or they're going to be shut down, because it's time. It's time. This thing's getting ready to happen. There was another question that was up before this one, Gene? What was that?
This one. I think that's the other one.
I think it's going to happen before the EBS, Sharon. Yeah, I think you're gonna get your appointment. You're going to head in, and you're going to see the EBS on TV. Actually, there's a real good possibility it could be simultaneously, but if I had to guess, I would say you will exchange first and then EBS. So I hope that helped you.
I hope so too.
Yeah, I'm not getting any younger here.
Yeah, I think it's harder for those that are in groups, because you have to consider this. You are really at the bottom of the barrel, just like I am, because we're not a part of a group. I mean, I'm, even semi-placating that, even though Kent is not here, he said even early May. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think, if there's 100 million people that are exchanging, we don't know where all these people are located. I don't know if the majority of them are here in the U.S. I mean, it could be, but we don't have that information. There's a lot of speculation, but at the same time, you're in a war. You're in a spiritual war and a physical war behind the scenes, with lots of people losing lives at some point, good and bad. But yeah, just be aware and be patient, and again, creatively visualize the thing that you wish to live in that now moment. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Brian. House marketing the Express Trust for $5,000. Maria Janet is much, much less, with many more faucets to her program, including education that you will need to become the protector of your Express Trust. And you can contact her at 360-471-6498 or at kenix@gmail.com. There is more faucets to this Express. In fact, one of the faucets that I can talk about is you being able to create your own financial instrument out of your strawman account. Okay? So get a hold of Maria Janet at that number that I said. Isn't R&R payment part of NISAR? Yes, it is. Paid for, it's announced. I'm hearing it's supposed to be paid between today and next Tuesday or Wednesday. That's what I'm hearing. Bruce actually said that on the big call. I didn't believe it. Okay, I thought it was more of his ranting. But I called General Steve, and no, that's not true, Janet. That's not true. I called General Steve, and he said that is the plan as of now. But he did remind me. He says, "Remember, we're shooting our guns at a moving target." Okay, there won't be a Social Security check anymore. It'll be universal basic income. Okay, so Social Security is a cabal scheme, and it will disappear. And if you let's say you're over 70 like I am, and let's say I've got reformation and restorations of a $250,000. Okay, it'll be more than that, but let's just say that I'll get it back all at one time. So what's going to happen is you're going to check your bank statement. You're going to say, "Holy crap, what's going on here?" And it's supposedly be scheduled, according to General Steve, between now and next Tuesday or Wednesday. But it is a moving target. target, like he said, and so we have to be careful. Now, just remember, when you get your R&R money, everybody should be getting it. So there's no need to talk about anything but your R&R money. Okay? Praise God, praise Jesus, praise the Holy Spirit for making our country whole. And then I'm going to get a hold of Chance, and we're going to get busy on helping more children, getting them back to their right homes. We're going to be helping people out of serious legal infractions that they never should have been involved in. And when do you all think we'll be RV? Us on Telegram. Okay. I've just been said that about 3 times, Debbie.
I think she just joined us now.
Oh, she did. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, welcome.
She didn't know. Yeah.
Watch again. We're hearing notifications. I'm hearing that 12 million notifications are going out sometime between tonight and tomorrow. That'll have the 800 numbers, and that's for the people that are not in groups. I am in 2 groups, so I will go with whoever has the best. The best perks that I can get with the R&R. Starting at what age will we get everything in a lump sum? That will start at 65 or 70, Julie. So I'm sorry, you'll have to wait about 20 or 30 years. Sorry.
But at the same time, it's like, if you see this huge amount of money, don't go blabbing. Don't say anything. Just
don't make yourself a target.
Yeah, be low key, take care of whatever you need to take care of like normal, and just kind of like breathe and relax, because no one needs to know your business.
True.
Especially family. I'm sorry. Especially family.
We've been preaching it for months now, so yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Sheila. Guys, I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm reminded right now. I'm reminded of Tom Petty's song, "The Waiting is the Hardest Part." I really do. But I want to tell you guys, I thought things might be a little slow tonight with Debbie not being here, because she always perks us up a little bit. But Debbie, we hope you're well. We missed you tonight. Kent Dunn, as always, we miss you too. And we want you to know that we will be back here next Thursday night. And if I am under an NDA, then this will be a music show. Okay? So keep that in mind. Okay?
Seeing if you're pre-approved will never hurt your credit score with Capital One pre-approval.
Oh, that's not what I want. I wanted this. Ugh. I'd like to thank my support team tonight, which is Fascinating Brian and Docg. Debbie, we missed you. I loved all you guys. Tune in to the Chances Live chat on Telegram, Sunday at 2 o'clock, Friday at 5, live at 5 on the Telegram public channel. I'm Chance McFadden. You know who you are. Y'all come back now. Here.
Bye, everybody. Any questions? We'll get to them next week. Promise. Bye-bye.